the dopest motherfucker alive. Whoa, I gotta be the dopest motherfucker alive. Whoa, good God, I'm so great. When I walk, the whole earth shakes. I'm like,
not on the screen. There we go. I'll get it together one day, folks. I'll get it together. But welcome back to the Next Bus Please NBP Live Show. I'm your host, your boy Blood. As you can see, I got my man Lloyd Archer here, and we have some important update information to talk to you about your medical. But before we get to all that, I want to touch upon a topic that both Brooklyn Pete and I have been screaming from the mountaintop for a long time, and that is the bus drivers' enclosure. And as we know, the union is looking into it. I've heard that Kemp and the other brass had went out somewhere, I don't remember where, but they went somewhere to look at some enclosures personally, and I applaud them for that. But guess what? And I know, Lloyd, that you are not going to be happy about this because Philly beat us to the punch.
And they were out there last year looking at this. You remember, and they were shooting things at the glass. Philly is a TWU local also.
Yeah, but they beat us to the punch. Something beat us to the punch. I'm going to show you a video of what I'm talking about. Check this out, y'all. Is that the right one? Yeah.
SEPTA says it's now the first transit agency in the country to install bulletproof glass on buses. Operator Eric Smith is driving one of 8 buses getting the upgrade. Retrofitting each one costs between $10,000 and $20,000.
I think it offers a lot of protection because you got the shield that's heavy and the door that's made out of all metal.
The safety feature was developed after the murder of bus driver Bernard Gribben, who was shot and killed on the job in October 2023. Last year, we showed you how SWAT teams tested the enclosures.
SEPTA says attacks on bus drivers have been on the rise ever since the pandemic. That's why the buses that aren't getting bulletproof glass will still be getting these glass enclosures of a different type to protect against physical assaults and emergency egress windows in case the driver needs to escape.
SEPTA is also posting warning signs and offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in assaults on transit workers. With the new enclosure in place, Smith feels relief.
Just felt more open without the glass because a lot of passengers can come up on the side of the seat without the door and the glass. So now that we got the door and the glass, I think it's a lot safer.
SEPTA says it's now working with manufacturers to build these enclosures into new buses from the start.
Hey, all right, so, Lloyd, it was choppy for you too, right?
No, it was pretty clear.
It was?
It
Yeah.
was pretty clear, yeah.
It was choppy for me all the way through. So I'm like wondering when it's going to stop, you know? But anyway, SEPTA beat us to the punch. This is something we've been talking about for a long time, to have at least the minimum bulletproof enclosures, right? I'm not sure how thick they said the steel is underneath, but hopefully it's bulletproof as well. And that's what we need here in New York, because those little plexiglass that they bought from Bobby's on a discount, those ain't gonna help. And you can see we still been getting assaulted. I keep saying we, but you guys still been getting assaulted, even with those glasses. So hopefully we'll get it too. And I got a little beef with the union on this one. I don't want you guys to think I'm a union basher. I'm not. I'm 100% pro-union. But they made their move after one of their operators got unalived, right? We had an operator unalive, Thomas, long time ago. But why didn't we make that move then? We should have made the move back then, and we should be making the move now, even though I know they are, but they dragging their feet on us. Operators' lives are at stake. So, They gotta get a step on. And I apologize because I didn't start my show with my apple juice, and so saludos.
Yeah, bro, you all right over there?
God, I think I felt a couple of hairs just grow out of my chest. But yeah, tonight we got a special show. I know we say that shit a lot, but it's an important show because it kind of, and I don't want to. I'm not the type of person to beat my own drum on this shit, but we kind of been talking about this for a long time, and it's starting to come to fruition because now we got it on record. Now we got it on paper, and that is that transit is now going after your medical. And I hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. We told you they were going to start coming up. What they did to the retirees was just a pilot program. They were testing the waters to see if they could get away with it. And they may have think that they got away with it, but we're still fighting. We are still in court, and we're going to appeal the process. I'm going to let Lloyd take it from there. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna take it like Blunt just said. For the last 3 years, we've been, having Zoom calls and, little podcasts to let you guys, especially you active guys, know it's us today, is you guys tomorrow. Now, from what I'm hearing and what your illustrious president said, the TA demands is that instead of the 2% into the medical, they want to raise that. I don't exactly remember how much it is. They want you to pay more for your emergency room visits. That's $100, $100 for emergency room visits, and that's bad because some people don't have that $100. If you're sick and you want to go to the emergency room, I mean, what do? You say, I'll just wait and go see my doctor. You could just leave here if you don't go to the emergency room. These are the same things that we've been talking about all along. Now, my question, and this should be all actives' question. They took $73 million a year away from the transit authority, away from the retirees, excuse me, with our medical. It's been 3 years. It comes up to $220 million. Why do you guys have to pay more into your medical and more into your emergency room visits? We don't know yet whether it's going to be a bigger copay for you guys when you get medication or what, but it's coming. All right. So I would suggest that you guys ask that question to find out. They did it to us, and they're coming for you. I can't even see with these glasses no more. I must be. But you need to ask, and don't listen to your chairman in your depot. It's a good contract. That is not a good contract. That is not a good contract. Some people you may hear say, why is Lloyd Archer still involved? He's retired. Just this reason, because of what they did to us. They should have left me alone. They should have left my medical alone. All right? And most of these guys that's talking to you in you guys' ear, I forgot more than they know now about unionism. All right? Because it's just get along, go along to get along now. It's not about taking care of the membership. All right? They think that they get you out of trouble once, twice, that you're going to fall in love with them. That's not the way it works. That's not what a union is all about. It's to protect your job, security, your health benefits, your salaries, and anything else that does good for you. So if they don't change that, I may get my head chopped off. Some people probably send me some nasty messages. I would vote the contract down until they do what they need to do, because it's not worth it. And for you guys to think, oh, I'm not sick. You drive that bus long enough, you're down in those subways long enough, breathing that dirty air, things are going to start happening to your body. Not going to be able to explain.
Yeah, on that point, that was one of the reasons I never applied for being a cleaner, right? I mean, and I was very nervous about going for a train operator because when you're down there, you have no choice but to breathe in all of that steel dust, and it's like little micro particles that you're breathing in, and that's going to affect you down the line. 20, 30 years later, you're going to have some kind of a respiratory infection or disease that's going to try to take you out. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these not retirees, active members. You know, when I was an active member, the last thing I was thinking about was life after retirement. The only point I wanted to do about life after retirement was buy a home. That was like my main goal. I just want to buy a house and I'm good. I didn't think about medical. I didn't think about none of that stuff. And so I can understand the mentality of it. But this is so serious that they need to be schooled on. They need to be taught about what's happening, especially what's going on right now with the retirees. So that's why we keep bringing this up. I know you guys probably, when you hear it from me, you're probably rolling your eyes so far in your head you can see your brain. But I gotta keep talking about it because a lot of you guys know what's going on, but you keep your mouth shut, so you're complicit. And we don't need complicit. We need help. We need help because if we accomplish what we want to accomplish, everybody benefits from it. Everybody, even the ones that don't give two shits about what's going on, they're going to benefit from it. And like it or not, it's going to be where you're going to be like, man, I'm glad they did what they did.
Exactly. And to piggyback off of that, a lot of the same guys that was complaining about we paying this 1.5% into our medical are now probably my age or older, and now they're stuck in this bad plan. But when we had the traditional Medicare, the Transit Authority was paying the 20%. All right, again, that's $73 million. And then they're crying broke. All right,
Always crying broke. Always crying broke when it come down to contract time.
yeah.
Always.
Let me give y'all a little history real quick. We had an actuary when we were in office. I was in office from 2001 to 2009. That did all the math from the Transit Authority, how much money they were spending, how she got it, I don't know. I wasn't included in that, but I know that was her job. And when we left office, from one of the e-board members and was worked with the actuary, it was $30 million saved from the medical part. So why did they have to dump us into this horrible plan? So you got to ask yourself now, how much money is in the medical plan now? You guys been paying 2%. How long has it been out of office? What, 2010, 25, 20 something years? Why do they need more money from you? Think about it. Why do they need more money for you? And if the president of the union was a negotiator and he had a negotiating team, which I know he's not negotiating, it's John Samuelson calling the shots and Tony Utano calling the shots. He's just sitting there and he might be the fall guy like his boy Richie Davis was, but I doubt it. But you guys need to ask these questions, especially to your section officers and your chairman. Don't let them bullshit you with no none of that shit. You don't know the straight up truth.
I think the one line they're gonna get the most is, "Oh, I'll get back to you on that."
That's the usual.
That's the usual line. But I mean, let them say they line. What you do, what your role is now, is once you ask the question, you even if you have to tell your phone whether you have Apple Siri or Galaxy's Bixby or whoever the hell you have as your personal assistant on your phone to remind you every week is to follow up on your question. Keep following up until they answer your question. You got to become a nuisance to them. To the,
Exactly.
that way they get, they do what they're supposed to do, because remember, you elected them into office. They work for you, not the other way around.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
You know,
They work for you.
right?
They do not. You don't work for them, and there's no reason for you to fear them. And you guys need to learn how to stick together in those crew rooms and gang up on them.
Yeah.
Gang up on them. Force them to do what they need to do. All right.
Yep. You know what I noticed too, Lloyd? Since operators on the loose started their podcast, which you can find on both Facebook and YouTube. MTA bus, when it comes to departmentals, right? MTA bus, TA bus, map store, and such, right? MTA bus has a stronger unity than TA bus. Map store bus has a stronger unity than TA bus. Why is that? Why is it that all these other facts, even down in stations where they barely see each other, they have a stronger unity than TA bus? And mind you, in TA bus, I don't know about other depots, but like in Gleason, we have our depots union officers. We have the VP, and we had the chairs. Everybody has a chair, but we had the VP at our depot that we could just walk into the office, right? So we have a stronger connection with the union than most other departments. If you go down to clerks, token booth clerks, they barely see their reps. They barely know. They know they reps because they have to, because they might have them on the phone or whatever, but they don't really know them like how we know our reps. We're more personal with our reps. But yet, all these other departments have a better union membership connection than we do. And that's just sad.
That's actually a good statement there. I do know, and I'm going to say it, that Map Store runs their division like gangsters.
That's what I heard.
And they control the AVAs and the overtime, so you got to conform to whatever they say. And that's been going on for years. That's just the way it is. And a lot of the OA guys came over to TA, where the unions are a little more lax. And a lot of the chairmen there, they just don't want to make no noise.
Right.
They got their 8 hours plus their extra, and they're good. They don't want to make no noise. So they'll go in and they'll make a deal, and sometimes the stuff is not a deal. And again, some of the chairmen TA service chairmen don't even know what they're doing. From things that I'm still in touch with, people talking to me, it's just crazy. That's why everything needs to change. Some of you guys out there need to step up, stop being afraid, learn from things, ask questions from some of the senior guys that's been around, and learn how to be an officer of the union. But you gotta have heart for it. You gotta
Sorry.
be serious about it. You can't be, I just want to get off the bus. That's not what it's all about.
Right.
And with your permission, I just want to go through, I'm looking at some of the demands from TA Surface. The first one, number one, new bus driver seats. Give me a break. I've been retired since 2015. I worked out of Grand Avenue. Anytime they gave me an RTS, I did not drive it because of the seat. And that was 11 years ago. So now 11 years, that's one of the demands. 11 years later, that's one of the demands, because I couldn't adjust the seat as to where I was comfortable.
Yeah, I heard that from a lot of people that were About 6 feet and over.
All right.
They
And
said the
every
same
day,
thing. Yeah.
not beating my chest, every day I got a newer bus where I could adjust the bus, adjust the seat.
Right.
But some guys, I don't know, you feel intimidated by the boss, because and drive that bus, which is unsafe. Secondly, your back is going to get all messed up. Your legs are going to get all messed up. You need to do that, and that goes to the medical part again. When you finish driving the bus, you're going to be bent over, back problems, knee problems. You need a knee replacement. You can't get knee replacement because of the shitty ass medical that you got. Just things like that.
That's hold on. That's which number is that?
That's number one.
Number one. Yeah, let me just see if I can set this up the right way. Let's just go with that. Number one. All right. Number one says
It says new bus driver seats for buses. New bus driver seats on buses.
yeah. Number one. New driver's seat on buses. Yep.
That's
This is which
yeah,
this is from TA to
oh,
the transit
yeah. This is from the union to transit. This is one of the
from
union
Union.
plans.
Okay.
That
Right.
shit should have been fixed years ago.
Right.
Years ago. They retrofit these buses with the seats that don't belong in them, and you
Right.
can't adjust them the original seats were made to adjust. But after all the miles you drive that bus, of course the seats are going to go bad. Stop being cheap and buy original seats that belong in the bus.
Right. Right. And make
That
sure they conform with I don't know, regulations to make sure that
ergonomic.
operators' backs and stuff are being taken care of. Because I don't know about you, Lord. I used to have to bring my own cushion with the center missing that was
Yeah, yeah.
proper for alignment and all that stuff. Plus, I didn't want to sit on them dirty seats.
That's another thing. In my
Sometimes you sit down and it's like poof. You smell the last operator that was in there, and that's not pleasant.
No, it's not.
It's
Especially
not
if somebody
pleasant.
had a bad case of gas like I did.
Yeah, yeah, So, I mean, it happens, right? You just had a nice lunch, you on the road, and all of a sudden you're like,
But I mean, there should be protocol where they swap them seats out every 6 months.
I really feel like there should be another shifter that just does bus operator compartments. That just cleans out the bus operator compartments. That could be one of those shifts when people are knocked down from buses because of either
I do.
medical reasons
Right.
or whatever, where they are taken off the bus for a little while. That could be one of those shifts, right? That are permanently there. They go in. I did that for about a day. You go in and you just wipe down the operator's compartment. And let me tell you, for that one day that I did it for, they gave me, you know how transit has those big rolls of paper? They're like ridiculously big.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like something from Costco,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They gave me one of those, and out of maybe in about the sixth bus, I was done with the roll. That's how filthy the bus compartments were.
Yeah.
The
And
dashboard.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean the dashboard, the windows, the phone, the buttons. Those things were completely filthy. Yeah.
They had a light duty job. I
Yeah.
remember that they did dashboards and windows. What
Yeah.
happened to that?
Yeah. Yeah. Then that's another worry right there.
Yeah,
Bed
yeah.
bugs.
Somebody said bed bugs.
Yeah, that's another worry right there. Bed
That
bugs.
bus shouldn't even be in service if bed
No.
bugs are on it.
Yeah. I mean, they should have I had brought this up on a previous show where they used to because my ex was a supervisor in transit, and so she used to always tell me about stories about that. And she would tell me how some booths they would close down because of bed bugs, and Transit would call Roscoe. Roscoe was that little bed bug dog that they used to have a commercial for, and they used to bring him in to sniff out the booth and make sure that the booth was clean of bed bugs. I don't know if Roscoe's still alive, but maybe there's his puppies or something.
Puppies, correct.
Yeah, maybe his puppies. They would need to keep hiring them because bed bugs are serious. You don't want to go to work and bring home bed bugs to your house. You just don't, man.
That's correct. And I'm just looking down and I'm scanning number 11, 59-minute lunch. I thought that was the norm. 59-minute lunch. What happened? Did they change that at some point?
You know what it is though? It's like some operators, depending on their schedule, they don't have that time. They'll have a 30-minute lunch. They'll swing out on the road, have a 30-minute lunch, and then have to get back on the bus. So yeah. I mean, having a 59-minute lunch would be cool, but then they're going to have to change a lot of schedules behind that.
And that's where the division chairman comes in when he goes to the division meetings. He's supposed to look over the schedules before they accept the pick. And if he doesn't do, and he can work that out, he could change RDOs. He can look and see one of the runs they pull in, and then they got to go back out and make a relief. That should be 59 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Just a 59-minute swing.
Right. They got to make sure all that stuff is incorporated.
Right.
Because that takes away from your 59 minutes. It's the same thing with the 30-minute. We're supposed to have a 40-minute break, right? When you get off the bus, this is what I remember when I was driving, and especially when I was on the B9. You get off the bus on 3rd Avenue, right? You're supposed to have a 40-minute swing. You get off the bus, you get relieved. All right, now you walk into where you're gonna eat your lunch. That's 5 to 10-minute walk. You get to the spot, you gotta order, you gotta wait, you eat. By the time you finish eating, you gotta go run to your bus because your bus is already coming. It's like you don't even have time to sit, relax, and digest your food. You have to get up and go and get right back to work. So it's just not healthy. It's not a healthy lifestyle. And operators are, they say operators' lifespan after retirement is 3 years. Right?
That's true.
So you don't even have time to spend your pension, to enjoy your life. You have to give that up to your family. And I remember one operator, God bless her. I hope she's still around because she was such a dog. She told me, this is her words, y'all, not mine. She told me, I'm not leaving my kids shit. She said, I'm going to enjoy my money while I'm around. When I'm gone, they got to do what they got to do.
I'm right along with it. Ask you on the papers, you want maximum? Maximum. No beneficiaries. Maximum.
Exactly.
And it's bad, like you said. And I mean, I've been blessed. I've been going 11 years. I had my little scares with health and everything, and I overcame them. But everybody's not as fortunate as me because, like you said, you figured. They did a study when I was in office. Her name was Dr. June Fisher. Do you know when a bus driver is driving a bus, his heart rate changes at least 300 to 400 times a day while he's driving the bus? So that means your blood pressure goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And this goes on for 25 years or how many years? So once your body finally relaxes and you don't that stress is not there no more, some people their body can't take that.
It shuts down.
Right.
It shuts down.
You should be getting hazard pay on this job.
Yeah.
But that goes without saying. That I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Right, but what's happening now though with transit is that they are coming after your medical. They have started the shift, and this is like I said, like we said, we've been talking about this for a while, but now we actually have it on paper, and we actually have it on video, And I'm going to show you what Chirillo said. Check this out.
Table bargaining,
Go
and the
ahead,
MTA handed us their demands. So if you're okay with a 2% budgeted raise for the next 3 years, giving more employee availability, giving higher co-payments in ER, and not getting overtime until after 4 days of working, prepackaged picks, electronic picks, and the pick car in Mapstow are disappearing, higher payments for medical benefits above the 2% that we're paying now, and only 15 days to restore your sick time and your sick lines. Then don't come to the rally Friday, May 1st, because I am pissed off. I think this is a slap in the face to our membership. And guess what? We're going to fill this canyon from front to back with our members and let them know May 1st, the TWU is laying their claim right here at 2 Broadway, 5 p.m. Making our name known. We're not going to take this. This is a disgrace. I expect you there. I'll be here. My leadership team will be here. And I look forward to seeing everybody. Thank you.
Can I just say something about what he just said?
Yeah, go ahead.
As from the TA, they want to increase the medical contributions, and they want to do. Well, when you were negotiating for the retirees that you shouldn't have, you told us this medical is the best thing since spilt milk, and we have higher copays. We get denied when we go to certain doctors if they're on the network. Did you care about us? Did you? We still haven't gotten an answer from you. Now you're negotiating a contract for the active members with some of the same things that the TA took from us. What a phony.
It's just they starting little by little, so they're trying to make it like so that you don't really notice what's happening, right? They pull the wool over your eyes, just like they did with the board members when it came to the contract that slid this into position, right? When they gave them the paper to look at, and I'm gonna hold on, let me pull it up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Hold on, because my screen is still acting slow. There we go. They showed them, this was part of the contract that they showed the board, right? And I have it on video where even Toussaint was saying how this is very deceptive wording. And it is. If you look at what they say, commencing with the open enrollment for the plan year beginning January 1st, 2024, Medicare eligible retirees will be entitled to enroll in either of the 2 TW enhanced retiree benefits coverage. That is very deceptive because what it doesn't say is that you're no longer going to have traditional Medicare. It doesn't say that, right? And that's very deceptive. If you're not thinking about it at that very moment when you're reading it, it's just going to go over your head.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm like, I'm when I was reading it, I put myself in the position of a board member, and I'm like, I would have voted yes. I would have voted yes because I wouldn't have noticed what they were trying to do right there. But let's let Toussaint tell you, because this is an interview I had with Toussaint maybe about a year ago or something like that, and he kind of explains it. Check this out.
Like for instance, I'm looking at the current contract, right? That brought in Aetna as the that mandated everybody into the Medicare, into Aetna's Medicare Advantage plan. And the language, the entire paragraph governing this is a short paragraph that is very, very misleading. It says, commencing with open enrollment for the plan year beginning January of 2024, Medicare eligible retirees will be entitled to enroll in either of 2 TW enhanced retiree benefits coverage. And it goes on to mention that you have plan A and plan B. Sorry, you have option 1 and option 2. One of 2 options. What it doesn't say is that these 2 options are replacing traditional Medicare.
Right.
Now, you would think that that's an essential piece of information. What they're saying is that the traditional Medicare, if you've been retired since the 1980s or the 90s or the 2005, 2010, you have been on traditional Medicare. What they're not telling you here is your traditional Medicare coverage has just been ended. They didn't tell you, that is nowhere even hinted at here.
No, it actually seems like they're giving you an option.
Additional, that they've given you enhancement, an additional something.
Right.
And they didn't inform the executive board either when the board recommended this for voting. Right?
So I see there's a question, Blunt, if you don't mind me answering it. Jose asked the question, he asked this question. We have to ask how many members actually knew what they were voting for and actually received a ballot. Well, first of all, as far as the ballot's concerned, I don't know. I can't answer that question. The members had no idea that they were removing, I'm going to repeat, removing retirees from traditional Medicare. And when I go to the executive board, from what the executive vice president said to me, they showed them some paperwork and took it back.
That's what I heard I heard that from an actual board member. Told me that. Said they showed them a piece of paper and then they took it back.
The fix was in. All right. And the thing that I'm trying to tell all you active people, read what they give you. If they tell you that it's A, don't believe it. Read the whole thing. You have to understand what you're getting yourself into. All right? Because you guys have to be there for a while. I'm retired. I'm doing this because it's a passion of mine, and I don't want to see you guys get screwed over like they did us, because they're coming for you. Just like
No doubt.
they're coming for you.
What they did to retirees was only the start. They just wanted to see exactly what would go down, if they could get away with it without too much of a hump or too much of a battle. But even though we are not letting our foot off the gas with this lawsuit that we're trying to bring to make sure that you guys, along with us, will have the option put back on the table for traditional Medicare plus the wraparound. And that way you can make a choice. Because, Medicare Advantage, it works for some of y'all. It does. But as long as you're healthy, there's nothing wrong, then it's a good plan for you to hang on to. But for the majority of us who have health issues, it's no bueno at all. It's an inferior plan. And if they tell you anything else, listen, come to TW100R on Facebook and just troll. Listen, look at what people are posting. Look at what people are saying. We're not saying this. People are telling us what's happening. We went to Florida and half of the West Coast were having trouble that they didn't even know they were having. Half of the West Coast. And this is them telling us that they haven't, that their hospitals are leaving networks. What the hell's going on? Right. And I said this before on the show, when Pete and I were on and we were talking about it, we had a caller call in who lives in PA. And he said that his doctor left the network. And for him to see the next doctor that deals with his situation, he has to drive 60 miles just to see the doctor that deals with his situation. Is that This is what you have forward to look into. I think I might have said that wrong. I might have mixed up.
I know.
No, dyslexia. The dyslexia is kicking in.
I know. But it's all right. They understood.
I'm getting old, y'all.
They understood. You know,
But this is what you have to look forward to. Go ahead, Lloyd.
no, and I agree with everything that you just said. We had quite a few people that had problems. We still have people that had problems. As far as their like guys that's on insulin, he said instead of him getting 90 days worth of his medication, they cut it down to 30 days. Right? So who's paying for what? And if you look at some of the videos of AOC grilling these people in Congress, this is a monopoly. CBS owns everything. Aetna, all of these companies. So they really don't care about us. But we have to fight them back. Especially if we had something in writing saying that it would never be diminished.
I heard this from, I think maybe Toussaint might have said this also to me, but I heard this in a couple of different places. Like, when it comes to the change that we're going to need to get this traditional Medicare back, we're going to have to clean slate. We're going to have to clean slate. We're going to have to vote everybody out that's in and start from scratch. Because the people who put this in, and I'm not saying that everybody that's in there currently was a part of that, but unfortunately, the people that were in office, they're not going to admit any wrongdoing. And they're not going to want to change it, because changing it admits to wrongdoing. And so the only way that we're going to get this done is we have to vote them out and put people in that are going to make sure that they tender to what the constituents want. Nothing less of that is going to work. Now, I'm sorry to say that, because I have a lot of people in there that I like, but if you're not going to help us, then you're in the way.
Absolutely.
Because it's the funny thing, Lloyd, that I don't understand, and it baffles my mind, is that they're in this too. This is going to affect them, and some of them are affected already, and they still don't want to talk about it. They still don't want to help.
Well, that's something that they've become relaxed in their positions. And some of them may not even be able to go back to their jobs for medical issues, just like you just said. Some of them are already in this plan, and they can't go back to their jobs. And the leadership know that. So you have to go along to get along. You can't get back on that bus if you got diabetes and your diabetes is not in control. You can't get back on that bus if you got out of control high blood pressure. You can't get back on that bus if you got glaucoma or something like that. So I gotta stand in the corner, accept it. Don't care what happened to those guys, those members that elected me. I don't care what happens to them as long as I take care of myself.
There you go.
And
There you go.
that is the wrong way to
Approach it.
run a union, to be a union person. You guys need to do is stand behind somebody that's got a big mouth and not afraid. And you could judge people if they're for real or not.
Right. You can feel it. Real recognize real. Easy.
Exactly. Those are the people that you will ask to run for office, and you have to back them 100%. And stop sitting when you get that ballot in the mail. Don't put it on top of the refrigerator and leave it. Don't put it in the kitchen table where you got all your mail. Soon as it come in the mail, get it out there, check it out, and walk it to the mailbox in the morning when you go to work. Because you have to clean the house.
Have to. That's the only way it's gonna be effective. I mean, we're doing our part. We are doing our part. We are in court right now, and we need all the help we can get. Especially when it comes towards fighting this case, man. I mean, we are looking at over $100,000. What was the quote? 150.
150.
$150,000
for the appeal.
just for the appeal. Just for the appeal. Lord, you got that money sitting around in your pocket?
Sure, man. Don't you know I'm tired? I got
Yeah,
about
yeah. You
I
know
got
what I mean?
$50.
Yo, I'm still jealous you got your little blue ring and I don't. Yo, that's fucked up, y'all. But yo, listen, anything you could donate. And I know transit or the union or whatever they're saying about us, bro. We're not lining our pockets with that money. I wish.
Believe
You know how
me.
many bills I got here that I could cover with some of that money? We're not lining our pockets. That money, the majority, I'm gonna say it like this because you got to be politically correct, right? The majority of that money is going right to the lawyer. Right to the lawyers. 150K is no small number, right?
Exactly.
And I don't know. I would say maybe 90% is going to the lawyer, and the 10% is for, uh, um,
Flyers, or if we have to,
right.
if we're gonna go somewhere and talk to other retirees in another state. And I took a long ass train ride instead of taking a plane, being cheap. Took me 12 hours to get to North Carolina. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, and we have a financer who's in charge of the finances who yeah he pinches
Yeah.
those pennies. Let me tell
Please
you.
don't please don't talk about Julio. Please.
I didn't say no names, but
I said it.
he be pinching the pennies on us, bro. You know, so we're not lining. What we're trying to do is just get you guys the option back. Once that's done, listen, the majority, everybody on the board is retired. You think we want to be in a court case fighting transit at anybody? Not just transit, our very own union. You
Exactly.
think that's the plan on retirement? No. Lloyd and all of them should be living their life on cruises and going to whatever, just living their life right now. But no, they taking the time out to fight because this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong.
It is. It is. And for you guys that don't believe what we're talking about, we have also have a website that has testimonies on that website. Well, we direct the retirees there. Now we're going to redirect you active members that are watching there, and you can see and listen to these guys and these people exactly what's going on. All right, our website is www.tw100r.org. If you could put that up for them.
Yeah, I'm typing it out now.
You can look there, and there's testimonies up there. There's things there that the former president talked about, that how bad they did it, and you should know their guilt. They got rid of the head guy that negotiated the contract, and y'all still don't know where he is. I'm gonna call his name, Richie Davis. He disappeared. Think about it.
Yeah, he's in the wind right now.
They got him to do the dirt and disappear.
In fact, doesn't he have allegedly a case coming up in court?
Yeah, a federal case coming up in court.
I don't know if it's open to the public, but he does have one.
And this is our website that you guys need to go to and just check it out. I mean, like Blunt said, I don't need to steal no money. You know, I'm pretty okay. You know, I don't have $100,000 in my pocket to pay a lawyer. Blunt don't have $100,000 in his pocket to pay a lawyer. Nobody on our committee has that kind of money. We're living off pensions and Social Security. You know. We all right, but we don't have that kind.
I need to check too. You know what I mean? But yeah, man,
But
we need the donation. We need the donation. Monthly donations. Like, let's say you want to donate $10 every month. You could set up for auto payments, so every month you donate the $10. You know, that way you don't have to worry about sending the donations, and that just helps us pay off that lawyer, because these lawyers ain't playing games. If you know anything about dealing with lawyers, they don't play games when it comes to that money.
absolutely not.
You know.
Maybe I
So-
should have been a lawyer. All that money they make.
Oh, absolutely. I know my ex would have made a perfect lawyer.
But
All the questions she asked me.
Do you want to talk about? I've been reading people talking about strike, and then they can't strike, and Roger made it so we can't strike, and
Yep. Yep.
we
Yep.
can talk about that for a minute if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. Absolutely. I have a clip of Roger actually talking about that with the answer, by the way.
Right. We gave you a little tease. So.
Yeah, we gave you a little tease. You go because you can see it on our YouTube channel because we do have a YouTube channel. TW100R is the channel's name. You can find it there. But we do have a YouTube, and it's actually two interviews with Roger that I have on there, and both of them are over an hour because it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information.
Take you to school, yeah.
I just want to say this, Lloyd, but even before I show the clip, because I noticed this a lot, and it's not just with us, but when I posted up the video of AOC, when she was explaining how the government is taking, I believe, CVS and United Health, no, she said United Healthcare, the government was taking them to court because they were scamming people out of money. Right? Mm-hmm. And she was explaining about that. She even said the actual words that we've been saying about prescription prices going up, doctors denying, doctors leaving. She said the exact words that we've been saying for the longest, how doctors are leaving network and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And when I posted it, and not just in TW1, on my personal page, a lot of people were not focused on the message. They will focus on the fact that they can't stand AOC.
That's human nature, brother. Why don't they like her?
It's like I don't care who say. It's the same thing when I went, and I try not to. When I went to the rally that Trammell had for the assault on the conductor, or was it a total? I think it was a conductor that he had out in East New York. I went to the rally because it's an assault on the conductor, right? Right. But when I got back, I got so much heat for going to the rally. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, you went over there with Trammell. You're a traitor. This, that, and the third. I'm like, what the fuck? The rally was for an assault on one of us. I don't care who threw the rally. I would have went there any fucking way. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's one of the things with transit workers. That's how they vote. I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend don't know shit.
Right.
It's your friend.
There you go.
Your friend don't know shit. Did you drill your friend to say, all right, how much time can they give me if this is my first offense? How much time can I give as my second offense? Do they know that? I guarantee you your friend don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have people in office that knows the job. That knows the job, not because they're your friend.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to take care of business. They're not afraid to go against the brass or the big bosses when things are supposed to be a certain way. And this is one of the reasons why I never call newly elected officials leaders. Because for me, and this is just a personal thing with me, for me to call you a leader, you have to earn that.
Absolutely.
You have to earn that. Just because I elected you doesn't mean you're a good leader. You have to show me you're a good leader. And that is when opposition is against you, you still stand 10 toes down. And you go against it, regardless of how hard it's going to get for you, because you know it's going to benefit all of those who voted for you.
There you go.
Let me see you do that. I'll happily call you a leader. Happily. And I'll support every fucking thing you do. Right? But let's get into this. Let's get into this video of Roger. Listen to what he says on the strike.
You bring me to a question that's been lingering for the past maybe a year or two about the Taylor law. A lot of people out there kind of feel like after the strike from 2005 that we gave up our rights to strike. Jesus. They gave that. They feel like after we finished the strike in 2005 that we no longer have the right to strike. Is that true?
We never had the right to strike. That's the definition. Before the Taylor law and under the Taylor law, you don't have the right to. You not only don't have the right to strike, you don't have the right to engage in what the law calls, what the Taylor law calls, concerted activity is the term that they use.
Okay.
And concerted activity could include sick-outs, slowdowns, any of those type of things are considered is group activity, concerted activity,
right.
are prohibited under the law. We knew that in 1980 when we went on strike. We knew that in 2005 when we went on strike. Right? The point is you got to be prepared to deal with the consequences.
Did you hear what he said? You have to be prepared to deal with the consequences. You have to be prepared. You already know that they're going to find the union. This union now, this I can't even get it out of my mouth. These guys that are in charge now are not prepared. They would never pull the trigger because if they would, if they would have, they should have been preparing you guys for this 2 years ago. Not one big rally. There should have been 2 gigantic rallies over issues every year to give the transit for the transit authority to think these dudes are serious. They're not playing. You're not prepared. All right, you can do it, but you got to be ready. You got to understand what the consequences are. And you got to stand behind the union. But that's something you guys are not going to have to worry about because John Samuelson said it at a mass membership meeting soon after I retired. I told a TA that they don't never have to worry about a strike. Now, what kind of leadership is that?
Yeah, what is that? That
His words, not mine, exactly what he said.
I don't think he knows that's not the flex he thought it would be. Honestly. Because what the fuck, bro? you giving away our biggest leverage.
Exactly.
You're giving away our big. Yeah, we're not going to strike. What? Wait, who said that? You should be ready to strike at any moment. You know.
Well, brother, I'm reading something on the screen. Said we paid the price in 2005 for the unborn, and the unborn don't give a crap about us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me put that up there real quick.
But if they were educated, especially the new people, to understand what we did for them, and we expect them to do the same thing for us, because each time there was a new class of bus operators, I was in the Bronx, educating on what we expected from them and what a union was all about. Most of them guys, surprisingly now, are getting ready to retire. That makes me feel old. But they understood. I respected them and they respected me. Brother, I understand what you're saying. But if you don't educate these new people, they will never know. Somebody said John don't know shit about flexing. That's true. And Jose, as far as that is concerned, a strike fund is illegal.
Right, but they're supposed to have. I've been hearing about they're supposed to have a strike fund for us.
It got to be called something else.
Right, it's got to be called.
Yeah.
But but according to the National Labor Relations Board, we do have the right to strike, but our situation doesn't put us in that right. It puts us in the illegal part. But again, we have to be prepared for the consequences, and that's the bottom line. But so with the rally that just passed, I heard it was about 1,000+ people there, right? Talking about May 1st, Transit had a rally for, I believe it was the contract negotiations, right?
Yeah.
So, and it was about 1,000 people. It looks great when you look at the videos, you look at the pictures. It looks great, right? And 1,000 people. Don't get me wrong, 1,000 people is nothing to shun at. You know?
Right.
If I had 1,000 people watching right now, I'll be happy as a motherfucker.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
you 9 people. Y'all want something from the store? Just but 1,000 people, it looks good. But the problem here is, Lloyd, when you step back and you look at the bigger picture, right? 1,000 people, yay! We have 40 plus thousand people in transit.
You read my mind, brother.
1,000 people is such a small percentage. It's laughable.
It's you gotta again. These people, a lot of these people do not believe in this union.
They are
So,
totally disenfranchised.
right. So you can't expect them to come out. When you don't have when officers are sitting in the ivory tower on Montague Street, or they're at the restaurant around the corner instead of being in the field, we were made to go. No sitting in the office. I was
Go
in
out.
I was in a depot every day. I was in a different depot, talking to the members, getting them ready for a rally, getting them ready for the strike. These guys, like I said, they do not care and they do not understand. That's why you active members, y'all need to change regimes quick in a hurry.
Unfortunately, yes, you have to wipe them out. Start from scratch, if you want a better future. Because right now, they are going after your future.
Right.
They
And
are
you
going
nine
after your
people, like
future.
he said, you need to start organizing.
Yep, exactly. So Lloyd, man, listen,
I got
we're
you.
not gonna do a operators on the loose 2 hours special.
Oh no. Let's go next.
Sorry, Fig. That's so but yeah, yo, Lord, I appreciate you guys for coming through, explaining this stuff to us, and letting these people know what the real deal is. Hopefully, if I wish I would have thought about this earlier. I would have put one of those Spike Lee quotes, "Wake up" or "Message." One of those, one of those things.
On your next show, you just gave yourself an idea.
Just give yourself an idea. But yeah, all right. So are we gonna end it here? It's our show.
All right,
And Lloyd, thanks for coming through, bro. I appreciate it, man.
no problem, man. Thank you.
Everybody else, listen. Appreciate you watching the show. You could have been anywhere in the world. The show's through here, and I appreciate that. So that's the end of the show. For Lloyd, I'm your boy Blunt. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. Later, and I didn't put my ending up here. You believe that shit? See, Lloyd? So far.
I did it. I messed it up.
Yeah, I didn't even put my ending up. I didn't set my ending up. Let me gather that real quick. I told y'all one day I will get it together. Just not today. Where is it? There we go. All right, y'all. Catch you next week. If I can get the fuck off. Where the hell is it?
In 1, 2, 3.
All right, here we go. All right, I got it. Later, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
You still got my man Pete up here.
Go.